Collaborative divorce is intended to be a non-confrontational process where you and your spouse work together to form a solution that's best for your family. The difference between collaborative divorce and a regular divorce is primarily what is being filed with the court. In a collaborative divorce, a petition for dissolution of marriage will be filed, but then an agreement to use the collaborative process will also be filed. Once that agreement to use the collaborative process is filed, you are basically out of the court system until you're done. In a collaborative divorce, and both parties have attorneys. So one spouse will have an attorney and the other spouse will have an attorney. And those attorneys are not joint, but they represent the individual spouse. In addition to that, the parties will hire a joint CPA or certified public accountant. Again, this is to ensure that the division of assets and liabilities, property and debts, is fair and done in a collaborative manner. Further, the parties will hire a counselor to help negotiate any issues. And when I say negotiate, I don't mean negotiate the actual points. I'm talking about trying to resolve those differences that led to the divorce in the first place. And finally, there may potentially be a guardian ad litem who would interview the children and, make a proposed parenting plan recommendation. In the collaborative divorce process, there will be meetings instead of, per se, a mediation. There'll be meetings where they come together, all the parties at the same time, and try to hammer out a deal. If a deal is struck, it will be filed with the court and you'll have a final hearing and be done. If there's no deal to be struck, then the case is over and you'll have to start anew outside of the collaborative process. Collaborative divorce has a lot of benefits. One thing people always need to remember is that your children are your children and also the other parent's children. You both will be at their middle school graduation, their high school graduation, their wedding, baby shower. You will all be there. And what a collaborative divorce does is it tries to put all the information on the table. For example, by using a joint CPA or certified public accountant, you have one individual that is assigning assets and liabilities instead of two parties negotiating with opposite ends of the spectrum on who should get what. You have that one joint expert trying to determine a fair value that you can both agree to for major assets like a house, a car, or a rental property. Collaborative divorce is intended to bring peace to a stressful situation. So long as both parties are committed to the process, it can be very successful and lead to everlasting peace. Collaborative divorce is not the best option when one or both parties really have no interest in settling. Collaborative divorce can be amazing, but it can also be an extraordinary waste of money. In a collaborative divorce, you have two attorneys, one per side. You have the CPA, you have a therapist. If the collaborative process is unsuccessful, you have a situation where all those experts are out the window. They cannot be used in a contested divorce. You are starting over from scratch as if you never even hired an attorney in the first place. If you have a spouse that is making significantly more and they just don't care about spending money on their fees because they're trying to make yours go bye-bye, that way you don't have any ability to have an attorney, then run from this process. It really does take two to tango in collaborative divorce, but so long as both you and your spouse are willing to cooperate, it can be an extraordinary process that can bring you everlasting peace. Finding the right collaborative divorce lawyer is extremely important and a very different analysis than finding a litigator. Please remember that in collaborative divorce, you cannot take that attorney to trial. That attorney that you hire in a collaborative divorce will never, ever be in a courtroom on your behalf. Run away from an attorney who has their sleeves rolled up in their advertising or is trying to act tough or telling you that they're going to, destroy your spouse, because that will be unsuccessful. Not for that attorney will get paid and they'll be out. But for you, the person that was seeking an amicable resolution. In a collaborative divorce, it's important to have an attorney that has a good relationship with other attorneys in the area. At Tampa Divorce, our three attorneys are well known throughout the community, not only for being extraordinary litigators, but also for having good relationships with opposing counsels, which is key to success in collaborative divorce. Hire us today or schedule a free consultation at tampadivorce.com, tampadivorce.com, tampadivorce.com.